Hey, what's going on, Rattlers? So if you've been watching the channel for a while, then you recognize this guy. This is Billy Stewart, and a while ago, Billy had a tragedy strike. Billy, tell us what happened.
Back in the day, it was 2017, I was in between houses, in between moving from a house to an apartment. Moving into the apartment, the animals were still in the house. I showed up one morning to take care of the animals, and I had started seeing clues that the house was broken into. And as I continued to investigate, I noticed cage doors open, animals missing, and my heart sank. It was awful.
Absolutely.
It was weird too, Dave. I found a little bit of signs of breaking and entering through my patio, but they didn't steal anything else out of my house besides animals. My TVs were still there, my PlayStation was still there, my Xbox.
They targeted the reptiles.
Yes, I had money sitting on the counter that was still there. They targeted my reptiles. All in all, it was about 40 animals. My leopard gecko breeding project, my Standings day geckos, my Halmahera day geckos, bearded dragons. A lot of my educational animals I used for the Herp Society. So Toby, my tegu, hognose snakes, corn snakes, ball pythons, animals that were property of the Herp Society, animals that were fosters from Friends of Scales Reptile Rescue. So it was rough. I've had an amazing amount of support from your fans, from those who watch the YouTube channel.
From the other videos that I've done, sure.
From the other videos, and just, people will approach me at reptile shows and stuff and say, hey, I saw your video, I'm so sorry about what happened. And it's just so cool to get that, feedback from people. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I've moved on. It still bothers me. I really wish that I had that tegu back.
Right.
He was amazing. He was such an awesome ambassador for the reptile hobby. But alas, I've moved on, I've grown, and kind of figured some things out. So life throws you lemons and you make lemon pie.
And Billy really did move on. He has taken a tragedy and built it into something absolutely incredible with this place. Wait until you guys see this. I'm Dave Kaufman, and these are my reptile adventures.
At Rainbow Mealworms, we grow all our insects 100% naturally so that you get the freshest, most lively feeders on the market. So for all your reptile food needs, place your order today at rainbowmealworms.net.
So this is the storefront. It goes all the way back, but you haven't just built a storefront that keeps your reptiles. You're fostering reptiles, you're taking care of sick and old reptiles.
Yeah, that's kind of what's been happening. And I absolutely love it because I really enjoy keeping these animals as pets. I really enjoy breeding them. I love working with geckos. I love working with these skinks. But I really enjoy the education side of this hobby. And not just educating other keepers, hey, I keep this animal, this is how we take care of them, this is their proper husbandry. But just working with the non-reptile hobby, working with kids, helping kids to really understand and appreciate these animals and how incredible they are. So I've been doing a lot of more outreach type stuff locally in Kenosha, bringing my animals to special needs schools, private schools. I'm working on getting certified so I can do Boy Scout groups and Cub Scout groups so they can get their reptile certification.
So awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
and just working with the public on how incredible these animals are. So whether I'm fostering animals or people are surrendering them to me, I have some geriatric animals that I'm just kind of making them as happy as they can be for the rest of their days. It's been such an awesome journey for me, and I really enjoy it. So Dave, this girl was surrendered to us. She's 9 years old, 8 or 9. She's an old lady, so on top of being a reptile rescue, I think we're a reptile hospice.
Right.
We have some old animals here that just kind of came to spend the rest of their days with us. You want to eat this?
I'm still working on the first one.
Here, I'll just leave them in here. She doesn't seem to care if the bugs are live or vacuum sealed dead ones.
There we go.
She's hanging in there. She looks a little thin, but she's an old lady. So she's got her UV, she's got her little bit of heat. She's hanging in there. She's doing really, really good. So this is kind of a modge podge of cages right now. Some of these cages were donated. Some of these cages were built by some other people. In the next couple months, I plan on having this place finished by the end of the summer, early fall, which means fresh coat of paint on the walls, some decorations, getting some more reptile art to kind of really make this place feel clean and new and fresh, but also kind of cozy and homey. I want it to feel like you're coming to my house or like it's a living room where we're kind of hanging out. Got a table, I got a couch. So the front of the store, I want to have just all display cages. So right now it's just kind of a Mod Podge. Some of these animals have outgrown their cages and they need some upgrades. So in the next couple months, I plan on doing that. But I want the front of the store to be, you know, display animals. So I've got a pair of Tenosaura bakeri.
Love these guys.
Actually, yeah. That's the male bakeri. I've got a female here. I've got another female down there.
I love that you can just hand feed them a banana.
They're starting to get used to me, and trust me, they're very skittish still, and so this is kind of my way of tricking them. Hand feeding them greens. They'll take bugs off of tongs.
Like the relationship that you have with your animals is, it's heartwarming, man. I mean, it just is.
It is. I like the bond and I like the connection. And I know we could argue like reptiles don't bond with their keepers and they don't love you like a dog or a cat does, but that doesn't matter. I bond with them, and that's the important part.
Couldn't have said it better.
The key is how I bond with them. It's how reptiles can be calming or healing or gratifying for us as owners. That's the important key.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if they bond with them. And these are my little tree skinks. So I've got a pink tongue in there kind of chowing down on some silkworm pupae. These guys are flighty.
Yeah, but they're awesome.
Go eat, dude. If you can grab it. You guys got it? These are emerald tree skinks. They're absolutely fascinating. People are finally starting to captive breed these, which is awesome. This is a wild caught pair that I obtained a little while back. There's 1.2 in there. They're totally cool animals.
Yeah, they really are. So in here, we've got a prehensile-tailed skink.
He doesn't like coming out of this cage.
Yeah. But
so, yeah.
He's got a story.
This is George. I'm afraid I have no idea how old he is. He's looking really old. He's looking really thin. He came in, there was a smuggling operation a few years back in Florida. 20 monkey-tailed skinks were confiscated. Florida Fish and Wildlife confiscated them. And they all got dispersed. So some of them stayed at Zoo Atlanta. Some of them had made their way up to Illinois to the Wildlife Discovery Center.
Right.
And from there, they all kind of got dispersed. So we all were able to get these monkey-tail skinks. Fortunately now, a lot of people are working with them. A lot of people are captive breeding them. You could just see the age. I mean, look at his hips.
He's an old man.
He's skinny. He's old. He eats every day, and he's just, you know, I'm going to make another vet appointment for him just to have him looked at, but I'm sure they're going to tell me he's an old guy.
Right. All right, so let's move on down. We've got some tortoises here. You've got one of my favorites, a big old mountain tortoise there.
This is Carl. He was a gift from the Wildlife Discovery Center. So I have a couple redfoots in here. I have Carl, the Burmese mountain tortoise. He's a champ. I've had him for a while. I'm a huge advocate for bioactive substrates.
Sure.
Most of my VIVs here are bioactive. They have isopod, springtails. You guys know the shebang. But I especially have this Tortoise Pen bioactive, and if I just start digging in here, you can see, look at all those isopods, man. So they help me clean my cage. I don't have to worry about anything. There's just a tremendous amount of them. Yeah, it's crazy. Just all up in here.
Hey, excuse me, we're filming the bugs.
I know, can you please look out?
Can you, that's all right, whatever. Here we have the temporary alligator enclosures.
So, yes, this is probably an important time to say in the video, don't keep alligators as pets. Please don't.
Yeah.
If you're equipped to take care of them, you've done your research, that's amazing. I really don't want to have alligators. I love them and I adore them. They're wonderful animals. And they've already outgrown their tubs, so we've ordered 300-gallon giant pools for these guys, so we'll get them set up in the next few weeks. But these poor dudes have some stories, man. So this is Jake. So Jake is 13 years old, going on 14 years old, but he's a tiny gator. He was smaller than this. He came to me really skinny, like I could put my fingers around his neck. He had no teeth. He had struggled with MBD. He still has a little leftover MBD. This leg doesn't work quite well. That's another reason why I've had several vet recommendations to keep him in a smaller enclosure because he can get exhausted if he has to swim too much.
Absolutely, right.
So he's in shallower water, which I clean it every week and it still looks like that.
Yeah, he's an alligator.
He's an alligator. But he's doing awesome, and he's a great ambassador. I do education with him. Obviously, I have his mouth rubber banded closed when we leave the storefront. Sure. But he was it was heartbreaking. He was in really poor condition, and we've gotten him proper diet, UV, it's helped out tremendously. Tessie's my other gator. She's a different story. So I got a phone call from a veterinary clinic in Appleton, Wisconsin. It was 32 degrees out. It was a blizzard. And they said, yeah, we showed up to work this morning and there's an alligator on our front step in a plastic tub.
Oh no.
Can you come and pick her up? Or him, I don't know.
Right.
So yeah, I drove to Appleton and there's a gator with a blanket and no lid in the middle of winter and it's snowing with a sticky note that says, I don't bite. Well, of course you don't bite. It's 32 degrees out, you're freezing. So I got her home, I got her warmed up in the tub. So she's still with me temporary, but the Madison Herp Society works with several alligator farms and sanctuaries, and so I wanted to make sure she's healthy. I want to have her, vet checked, and when she's good to go, we can ship her off somewhere.
Right. All right, so over here, we've got the geckos.
Yeah, these are all the animals that you're familiar with. I've had these on past videos. These are some of the breeding projects. The lights don't go on until 1. I have the LED lights that are on timers from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. And then the heat bulbs and the UV come on about 11, 12. They go off around 4. I do have some really cool animals in some of these vids that we can pull out. Yeah, I got a couple of these ocellated skinks. These guys are super neat.
Yeah, I've seen these in the wild, and these are really amazing.
They have hilarious little heads.
These are subterranean. These guys will disappear in soft, sandy soil.
Yeah,
watch
here,
this.
See if we can.
And he proved me wrong. Let's check out the day gecko.
They're you wouldn't believe me if I told you I cleaned their cage like 2 days ago.
Well, that's the thing, is that day geckos are so awesome, but man, are they...
They poop like crazy.
They're just, they don't make very good roommates.
But. And a wise gecko breeder had once told me that, one of the keys to getting some species of day geckos to breed is to kind of keep their cage dirty. Their pheromones, their smells.
Absolutely.
They can smell, they want to feel that comfort. So.
Well, I do the same thing with ball pythons. I mean, during the breeding season, I just spot clean.
Okay.
Because if you clean them to our liking, well, then you're removing all of the pheromones, you're removing all of the signals in that enclosure for them to breed.
That's what, so I try to keep the glass clean. I have isopods and springs in there to do all the work. I just got a pair of standings day geckos.
Oh, these are nice.
So standings were stolen from me in 2017 and I hadn't worked with them since. And I just went to Sewerfest in a few weeks back and grabbed another pair of them.
Nice.
So these are the neon day geckos,
yes,
the Clemmerai.
These are my favorites. Of all my favorites,
see if I
these
can
are
get
the favorites.
This little fella to rotate around.
These are like neon tetras of the gecko world. So moving on into this wing, as it were.
These are wedge-snouted skinks. So another fossorial deserty lizard.
There they are.
But if I dig up the sand, they're in here somewhere. Right, guys? You're in here somewhere? They kind of look like the ocellated skinks, and they're in the same genus. But it's just amazing how quickly they just vanish.
They just disappear, yeah.
Yeah,
they swoop through
there's
the sand.
Another one.
Look at that, woo, gone.
Look at you. Look at their legs. What a weird...
Well, they don't need legs
No,
anymore.
Exactly. Look at that little dude. Yep, go ahead, disappear.
Disappears.
Phrynocephalus mystasis, mystecus. I
Yep.
don't know how to pronounce it.
That word?
Secret toad-headed gamma.
There you go.
Those are the secret toad-headed gamma. Super crazy, awesome lizard. He's got his little tail curled. When they one of their defensive things is to get their tail curled. Of course, he moves it when the camera comes.
Right.
He's camera shy.
Well, believe us, he had his tail curled.
He had his tail curled. They will, they're from the desert. They don't get a lot of water, but when it mists or when it rains, they stick their butts up. The water trickles down their back and goes into their mouths. It's totally fascinating animal.
So this is a really unique lizard. I've never seen one of these before.
This is a bearded dragon.
Bearded? Oh, wow.
I know, pretty unusual. This is another person who messaged me on Facebook. Hey, Bill, I haven't talked to you in about 6 years. I hope you're good. My friend has a bearded dragon that she needs to get rid of. Can you help me out? Yes, I sure can.
Wow.
This is Pandora. She's kind of tiny.
Nice name.
She's an older lady. She is kind of retiring with me.
And then speaking of Australia, we've got one of my other favorite Australian species here.
This fella definitely needs an upgrade. He's got a 75 or a 90 that he's going to be moving into here shortly. And actually, he's going to come home with us. This is Ozzy. He's an Ackie monitor. He came through to Friends of Scale's Reptile Rescue, and I was pretty quick to snatch him up because he's awesome.
Look how friendly he is.
He's a cool dude. He's pretty chill. I could probably get some food and tong feed.
Sure. Chomp.
But I don't want to be eaten. I'm fighting back. And now you're going to rub it all in the sand.
Yeah. Nice clean insect. Let's
Yeah.
get that full of crap before I ingest it. These are awesome.
Yeah, Ackies are rad. These are,
Oh, yes.
these are little peacocks.
Yes.
So there's 1.1 in there.
We know how much Ryan loves his peacocks, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to be filming Ryan, well, today after this. That'll be another video down the road, but he does deal with these peacock monitors, and they are just awesome.
Yes.
See if he'll go up on that branch right there. Just up top and not in here.
Go up here, guy.
Well,
Nope,
and
yeah.
there we go.
I don't wanna
But
be
we will
filmed.
see more peacock monitors in the video that I'll shoot with Ryan for sure.
So this is Stropheris tanacata. They are an Australian gecko species. I got this little dude in 2014. I've had him since then. I haven't bought a female for him. Females back in the day were expensive.
Right.
This genus, Stropheris, are all amazing geckos from Australia.
And common.
And they're
in
starting,
Australia.
and they're common in Australia, and they're starting to be more common. A lot of people are working with the genus. I think tanacata is the most stunning of them all.
I agree.
But this is another dude. I've just had him. I haven't gotten a female for him. I'm not opposed to it, but I've had him since 2014, and I got him as an adult. I don't know how old. Do geckos ever retire, or do they just breed till they die?
They just breed and breed and breed.
Humans should breed until they die also.
Well, we kind of try.
Yeah, we try to.
See, now that's the beauty, is that you don't feel like you need to breed everything that you have. You have them because you enjoy them. You enjoy working with them,
Yeah.
rescuing them, working with them. That is the sign of a true herper.
Well, I'm
right
also
there.
a sucker. If I do breed them and I do have babies, I'm usually like, here, you can have them for free. Enjoy them. Like, I don't sell a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right, right.
To me, they're not, they're not commodities. They're not price tags. They're animals. And I respect people that breed them. I respect people that make money off of them and that their hobbies are self-sustaining. It would be a dream of mine if I could sell enough animals. I'd have to actually sell them to do it. I know, I see you looking at me. I'd actually have to sell them. But if I could make enough money to where this storefront pays for itself, the rent, the electric bill, the food, because everything in here is out of pocket. The rent, the electric, I work and I pay for all of this myself. The animals don't pay for themselves.
Right.
They are all freeloaders, and I love them. This is a sualessi water skink. I have a pair. I believe what I have is a pair down there. So like I said, I don't breed, but I do buy males and females. If they breed, that's awesome. If they don't, that's perfectly fine. They're allowed to stay here. I love the animal. I think they're awesome. And so, but I do try to get pairs when I can. She was wild caught. She has no fingers on this hand. She has one.
Aww.
That's how she came to me. Increasing the soft spot in my heart
Sure.
for her. They're underappreciated. They're pretty cool animals. They don't have quite the personality that a red-eye croc skink does. They don't have very massively vibrant colors. Still a really cool animal.
All right, so we're winding down our tour here to the last little nook and cranny of this place. What do we got in here?
We have flying geckos.
Oh, yes, I love it. Flying biting geckos. Love it.
They're so cool. This is a female long-term captive. I've had her for a long time. I just got another group of them in. Unfortunately, there's still so many wild-caught flying geckos.
Yeah.
There are people captive breeding them, so I do need to get a captive bred male. I'm going to have my eye out. But she's beautiful. We actually had an incident where I was cleaning the cage and she jumped out, and I got to watch her glide. She like went
They do?
like in a straight line to the ground. It was really awesome.
They do. So if you look on the body there, they have folds of skin that they stretch out, and if you look at that tail works as a rudder, and they really do glide through the air. These are also called parachute geckos.
I've been keeping flying geckos as pets since 1995 when
they're
I was
so
in high
awesome.
school.
So, Bill, I absolutely love your story, from the first video that I did right after your theft to the follow-up video that I did that showed your collection growing to now what you've done with this tragedy and what you've built this into. This is downright incredible.
Thank you so much. It's been a labor of love. I moved in here in December. We had I had an air condition malfunction, so last summer it was really hot. Lost some animals because of the air conditioner breaking. We had Kenosha riots, had to deli cup a bunch of animals and hide them. We had a hole in the wall in the middle of winter, so I had 50-degree air blowing through.
Oh, geez.
It's been crazy. COVID didn't really affect me here. This was my sanctuary from COVID,
Right.
so that was nice.
But through all the
yeah.
hardships, you have persevered.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I always try to stay positive. I always try to, keep my mind focused on what I have, appreciating what I have, appreciate what I'm doing. I try not to dwell on the past and dwell on, that could be a black hole if you just keep dwelling on the bad stuff that happened.
So you have built your own personal reptile refuge here.
I kind of, yeah. That's a cool name for it. I like that. I want to use this as a facility to continue to educate people on how important these animals are, on how you're supposed to be taking care of them. And, being a refuge for animals that are sick, animals that are old, they can come and spend the rest of their days here if they need to. I love them all and I enjoy them all, so it's fun.
So guys, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The reptile world needs more people like Billy in it, and Billy and I have been friends for years, and I've been following his journey from the time of his theft to what he has built here, and there will definitely be follow-up videos from here at Billy's place, because what he is building here is truly inspiring. So guys, there's more reptile adventures coming up. Check out our sponsors. Their links are in the description below, and until the next reptile adventure, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.